Music, industry talk, stories, equipment and more. We are Crossfader and this is off the record. Off the record. Off the record.
Hello, welcome back to episode 102 of the Off the Record podcast. Good morning.
Good morning, I know.
It's the morning today, guys. We're recording.
Maybe we'll be a bit more fresh.
I think it's going to wreck our day up today.
Potentially.
9:48 a.m. on Thursday, the
6th of June.
6th of June. Good morning. Yes, this isn't live. It's busy. but podcast is priority.
Do you know what's hard with the live? So obviously, if you're a regular listener of the podcast, you'll know that we do live, go live a lot with it. But to fit it in with the global audience, it's really tricky because we're in the UK. A lot of the audience is in the US, and again, if you're on like the East Coast, it's even further away. So our day finishes as their day started.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're all leaving to pick children up from school and things. So it's tricky.
We're going to hybrid record, post it. But we're recording it. That's the main thing. We're here. Welcome back. Hope you're good. We are celebrating 10 years of Crossfader. If you've been following the last few weeks since episode 100. And every week we're going to bring you a bit of a memory, a bit of a throwback memory from each of us about Crossfader and a little story. Before we get to that, though, it is just me and Jamie again. I feel like Danny's hardly here anymore.
He's off enjoying life.
He's on a beach in Turkey. One week Bruce Springsteen. The next he's in Turkey. You know.
I wonder if he's just timing it so that he can like skip out of the podcast. No, only joking. It's a shame he's not here.
We'll do the legwork. Before we get into the memory, I'm just gonna like get into this thread that I've seen on Reddit. It's not a Reddit drama. We've got another Reddit drama later, but it is basically right. Have you ever pressed Q on the track that is playing at a venue party? Of course we have, right? No
Everybody.
DJ who's been DJing longer than 6 months hasn't pressed the Q button.
On the playing
deck.
And the cue's the worst one because it's taking you back to the start.
This is it. But some people's stories and some people's like ways of getting around it are genius.
Yeah, okay.
There's a few here. So one's like take a note from Jazzy Jeff where if you press the cue, just press it again, like you mean it, right? Like a bit like DJ said, like did it. Basically you turn into like Fred again then, don't you?
Yeah.
You just like start making a drum
You could
beat.
turn an accident into something actually pretty sick.
Yeah. Grab the mic and yell rewind.
Without any pullback, just a dead stop in the music.
This guy, somebody's put, I've picked up the wrong needle before. That's surely not. That's a harder to do.
At least with that, though, you can just put it back down sort of somewhere as close as possible and you're kind of back into the song.
This is the most bizarre 1 in a trillion story that I've ever seen. So this guy's put, I've done that too. Also, at an outdoor event, I once had a moth decide to impale itself on the stylus of my needle.
Oh my God.
That ceased the tone arm to rise enough that the needle came off the record and the music stopped. Just as I laughed and told the audience to pour one out to the dead moth, the fuzzy little fucker completely ruined my time code record. All the dust that comes off the wings went into the grooves, and there's no getting it out without a good record cleaner, which I didn't have because I was in the desert. What gig is this? Luckily, I always keep an extra pair of time codes in the bag along with a pair of needles.
Right, backup.
Listen, vinyl DJs know about backups. That's the thing. When vinyl DJs transition to like,
if your needle snaps, breaks, you can't just like. There's no fixing it.
That's the thing.
It's a replacement.
Yeah, if you just started DJing recently, you've got a controller, you're probably not thinking about, I need extra cables, I need this and this. But if you've come from like vinyl era, your worst fear is like having something break with that.
That is a great story, though.
That's so.
But I understand. Yeah, a moth. If you were to like, do the damage and kill it, which I don't condone, but it does just spread into dust, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, yeah. The worst one is loading a track into the one that's playing.
Yeah, because then it's like, I've got to just commit to moving forward with a whole new song.
Yeah, and then your other DJ mate goes, you can like load lock, and you go, oh.
I just made a short form on that.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, I sent it to you on Slack.
Yeah, one guy I was DJing with did this, and he just got on the mic and said, "Old school boy era." I mean, there's so many.
What have you done in the past?
Yeah, I feel like we've done this at festivals before. Something will happen, but I'm great. I'm good on a mic.
Yeah.
So I've done it where I used to have an issue. I didn't know it was having the Wi-Fi, but on Serato, like early versions, I'd be playing live on Serato, and when you had the Wi-Fi on, it would interrupt the
Yeah.
signal.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what this was for ages. And the only way to sort it out would be to restart my Serato again. I didn't realise what it was. And I remember playing in Leeds. I was playing for, remember Plan B, the artist Plan B?
Yeah.
I was playing at this stage. It was like 3,000 people there warming up for Plan B, and it was doing it. And I'm like, oh my God. So I literally, as I'm talking, I'm like, right, who's ready for Plan B? I take out the USB and I'm like, make some noise. And I'm like, putting the USB, I'm like, that wasn't loud enough. One more time. And then I'm in. And then after that one more time, I'm like, please be back in.
I've done a similar thing, but more student gigs where you get everyone to start chanting like,
That's
"Boom,
it.
there it is," or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
some kind of chant, and then they take over. So you've got some time. They might do that for 20 seconds because they're like, yeah, let's get riled up. You've got then 20 seconds to try and figure it out. Sometimes you still get to a point you're like, right, okay, I need to give them something else to do. Owning it sometimes works,
Yeah,
but
that's it.
also preparing. If you've got your music prepared, if you've got hot cues set, you'll probably have a hot cue set at a much more interesting point in the song that you could just jump straight back into, whether it be the breakdown, the build up. If you can just jump straight back to that, you're back into the energy. The crowd aren't going to care, and it's just one of those happy accidents that always happens.
Yeah, somebody says I'm a hip hop DJ, so I don't use the cue button. That is fair. That is fair. Yeah, some interesting stories there. That moth one caught my eye. I was like, what the hell? The chances of that.
That is a good one.
Like I say, we are celebrating 10 years of Crossfader. We are going to get into some talking points today about, do DJ companies like listen to DJs anymore? There's been a recent release of Serato 3.2, recent release of
beta,
Record,
yeah.
and Rekordbox 7, and there's something from another company coming next week, and we're like, have we got everything we need? Are they listening to us? You know, is it still outdated? Do we need all these updates? We'll get into it. But have you got a Crossfader memory for us to take us back a little bit?
Yes. So obviously I went way back in last week's episode, so I'll bring it a bit more up to date. This is 2020, January. It was just before COVID lockdowns happened. So this is interesting because it was just before the world went into lockdown, basically, and the virus was spreading. We don't need to get into that, but the exciting thing was that I actually got invited out to Miami in Florida by In Music,
All right.
who own Newmark and Den and DJ and Rain, and they were doing. They thought, right, we need to make a big impact. You know, we're going up against Pioneer here. We're releasing products. We're trying to like make a dent on the market. Let's invite a load of the creators, the DJ creators and the media partners, like from the DJ industry out to Miami, where their headquarters were, to unveil. It was a bit like a kind of Apple event thing, you know, to unveil these 3 new products. At the time, it was the SC6000, which was the new like version of a CDJ, their new player. And then it was, I think, the Den and DJ Prime 2 and the Prime Go. And we got the press release like just before we flew out, so we got to see the pictures and some information about these products. But it was basically, come out here, let us show off these products to you, record whatever content you want in the studios we've got here. It's totally your call. You'll get some time to do that, and then you can put the content out however you want. You know, it wasn't like you have to say or do anything. It was just, we want to show you it here, and we're gonna, you know, wine and dine you. They want us to, you know, say nice things, obviously, but it wasn't, you know, scripted in any way, shape, or form. But it was a real weird moment for me because it was like, I've been invited out to Miami just off the back of like making some YouTube reviews and videos. It was another turning point for Crossfader where like, okay, these companies are taking like what we're saying seriously, and you know, they're taking notice of the content that we're creating.
So cool.
And it was just a cool experience. And I'd brought Danny out with me. He was editing all the content at the time. And it was just cool to link up with some of the other creators like Mojax. We did a boat party. It wasn't a boat party. They had their own little like In Music speedboat that they did that they went around on the Keys in Florida. And they had a full Den and setup on there. So me and Mojax were like, shall we just do like a back-to-back and make some cool content for YouTube? So
that video is on YouTube, right?
Exactly. Go search it. Go search Jamie Hartley back-to-back Mojax.
And you won't get many results from that.
It should be number 1 if you search that. Very cool memory.
Yeah, so if any companies want to invite us to Miami,
you
know, we've got experience. Well, you have. So cool. Yeah, so this week, there's been an announcement from Serato on their new beta version, their updated 3.2 version, which kind of came out of the blue. They didn't really tell us about it when there was a video on Mojax's channel, and I don't think he heard about it because he recorded it while he was on holiday, so they actually had to get Serato to record this beta. So it's kind of like just come out of nowhere. But anyway, here are the main sort of features from it. So and it's beta, by the way, guys. So if you want to go test it in your bedroom. Don't use this out. I'm sure everyone knows what beta is by now. And the version 3.2 features a revamped effects panel with better navigation, new view modes, along with new channel effects assignable to the filter knob. The update will also include a new favorite effects bank feature, which is nice, allowing users to save and access up to 4 custom effects banks during their sets. And also, which is quite a big deal, will feature native Apple Silicon support, optimized for M1, M2.
Yeah.
We're on M3 now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like,
they're not holding back.
We're on M3. Yes, so there's loads of new high-quality custom-built effects, and it's kind of like, it's effects and the Apple thing, right? It's like a new effects panel, which is great, cool. But is it like... is this what we need, like more effects? Is any DJing anywhere saying, do you know what I need? I need more custom effects.
Yeah. There's already so much customization within the effects.
Yeah.
I've not touched half of it ever, really.
Really? Like the effects, the standard effects are tried and tested, and I don't know that this is an area where we need to go down, which got me thinking, like, you know, we just had Rekordbox 7 out. The stems weren't great still. Like, do we need updates that aren't really serving the purpose of what DJs want? So, and it's not, don't take my word for it. So I went down the comments, and let me just start by saying there was a load of comments saying, love this. I love using effects. This is what I need. Yes. Thanks, Serato. Can't wait to test the beta. And again, same with like the Rekordbox 7. 50% love it. 50% want something else, right?
Yeah.
So a few of the things that people have been after from Serato specifically are better tagging and a more secure way to keep crates to recover. Preview listening, better tagging with crates, and a big one is like searching for crates is like a big one. Please add the ability to create local and streaming combo libraries.
Oh yeah,
you can do this in algorithm, but yeah, I find this because I'm a hybrid of streaming tracks. Usually use Beat Source, and then my own tracks. Yeah. But to not be able to mix the playlist together is so annoying.
I think this is the thing. It highlights even more this lack of library management update, which is the big common theme here, right?
Management, library management,
is the big common theme. DJs need to be able to like take control of the music, access the music they want, and be able to play it with ease and find it with ease. And I think because all of the other softwares, Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, DJ Pro, Algorithm, all the other softwares out there. Not mentioning Tractor because I think we're kind of still in a bit of a limbo with updates from them. However, the other softwares have all nailed it. Like there's so much flexibility with the music management. So then it even highlights on Serato, like, what are you doing? If the other ones, if there was only one other software that had kind of like nailed music management, then it'd be like, all right, yeah, cool, new effects. But because everyone else has nailed music management, Serato, like, everyone's looking at Serato like, I just need better music management.
Literally, yeah.
Because again, even just using multiple streaming services, like you say, combining locally stored files with music streaming, it just needs to happen. It works in the other platforms, so it needs to happen.
It's like, well, I just mentioned that we're on like M3 now, and it seems like 2 months ago it was M1. And like, it seems like some companies aren't moving quick enough with the technology available. If you think like,
but then you could turn it round on them and go, well, they've absolutely put loads of energy and nailed stems, right? Which Rekordbox haven't done. So it's that catch-22. Like Rekordbox have leaned into DJs being able to access, library manage, cloud library storage, all of that stuff that goes on, like the functionality of storing and managing music, and the stems has kind of taken a back seat. And now they're like, oh, people want stems. We need to kind of work on that. But Serato have gone, we need to like add more creativity to people's hands, give them more creativity at their fingertips.
Which is a strange one because Serato, and as a sort of generalization with Serato DJs, you would think that the creativity is handled right. The stems thing unlocks so many possibilities, right? So the next thing should be the management because not more. I don't think there's, as a Serato DJ myself, there's not many other things I want from Serato. Like, it is, they've ticked all the boxes. It's my favorite one to use. The stems is unbelievable. It gets better and better. And now it is the little things of your day-to-day being a working DJ, being 5-6 nights.
It's almost like
DJ.
the boring stuff.
Yeah.
They need to focus on the boring stuff,
which
that's
you
maybe
know,
not that exciting to develop.
Yeah.
But
which virtual DJ Smash, algorithm DJ Smash, because they kind of have to, and they have to shout about. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see what comes next. But like I say, from the comments, from the early like lukewarm comments, it's like they've kind of missed the spot, and like not many people really need this or going to use it. I'm excited to test the new effects, but yeah, again, like how many new effects do we use?
Yeah, it's a bit like the new like Rain products that come out. They're always adding more and more effects into the Rain battle mixers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like some of them are cool and you can do the odd creative transition with them. But again, the emphasis and the focus, to make something new and exciting, adding more effects doesn't do that so much anymore.
Yeah. Shout out to at DJ Mad. He's got a wish list. So, number 1, archive crates. I like that. Not something I never thought about, because
like,
I've got crates where
hide them but don't delete them.
Yeah, there's some there where I don't want to get rid of them, because I know I've done it before where I've not seen a crate for like 2 years, and I've turned up to this random gig somewhere and I'm like, that playlist would have been perfect for this.
Yeah. And that's where like Rekordbox has its playlist palette, where you can have like 4 playlists at the top of your library, just the quick access ones. You can change them out each gig, so you've like kind of got your playlist that you need for that gig, which would kind of make sense for Serato.
I think algorithm, when I say this, will start making this an AI feature that can detect profanity for radio edits. That's good.
That is good.
Because I actually always thought this, like, you know, when the studio or radio stations get the tracks, like who cleans the track up before it goes to radio? Is it the producer?
Something could slip through the cracks.
But this is what I mean. Who, I don't know, because obviously they get a radio. Is it the labels? Is it the producer in this booth? You know, when I finish making a Kendrick Lamar track, is Metro Boomin taking out the swear words? I don't think so.
But this is where you get different approaches. There'll be artists that make the radio edit version and they'll switch out the lyrics if it's heavily if there's a lot of cursing throughout. And then you'll get other ones that's post-production where they're like just silence the acapella.
If this is your job, let me know, because I'm super interested. Colorized tracks, which I think you can
color code track.
You can color code it, but I mean, maybe you're the whole, because you can make them blue for played, can't you? But maybe it means that potentially. Maybe. Better music management, auto tags, auto fill, a bit like in Rekordbox, I think. The option to pre-install hardware when installing Serato.
I'm guessing like drivers and things.
Yeah, that makes sense. Custom skins.
Yeah, because that is an interesting one with the drivers.
The drivers.
Sometimes you'll rock up to a gig, plug a DJM. Now, you know, if you're going to use HID mode, you plug the mixer in, then so it's like install the driver, and you're like, But I mean, that just comes down to prep as well. You can go and find those drivers and just install them. I think I think what they're saying is it's preloaded within the software itself. So
going back to the AI thing, I think even at us as Crossfader, we're having this issue where it's right now, it's there, right? And it's companies, because it's so brand new, you almost have to start your business again if you want to install it. This is the issue. This is the issue that companies are going to have with the AI system, is they're going to have to redesign from sort of ground up to put this in, sort of thing. Yeah. Because when you start to add on stuff and add on, it just gets so complicated, as we're sort of going to find out.
And this is where you've got to start thinking as well. You've got to understand the business scope. So, for example, Algorithm DJ is a tech company, right? Yeah. So they have to be at the forefront. That's why they're doing. They've just been nominated
Apple
for the
Vision,
Spatial Award from Apple for their Apple Vision Pro and stuff. And they've got to constantly be innovating within the tech space. Yeah. So AI comes about, big talking point in tech. We have to be the leaders in the AI DJ space, and that's what they have to like put emphasis on. Rekordbox are like, okay, well, we've got probably millions of DJs using our software around the world. We can't, change too much. We need to make sure that they are able to use our software and use it well without it breaking or running the risk of things going wrong. Serato are kind of like, okay, we've got a lot of like battle DJs, a lot of open format DJs. How do we serve them? And there's this weird like, you've got to find the lane, and then, like you were saying, how does AI play into their model? Really works for Algorithm DJ, but this is where the Rekordbox are kind of testing it with their streaming radar, but they're not going, right, we've now got fully built AI this within all of our software, because it would be too much of a change for all the working DJs that are using it on a daily basis. Yeah. So it is interesting. And then you've got Denon DJ, which a lot of their emphasis is built into the hardware itself. So it's separate from, desktop software. They do have a desktop software, but their technology advancements come within the units themselves, because it's basically like an onboard computer. And how are they going to introduce AI into the onboarding of, within the DJ equipment? That's going to be tricky, right? Because they're struggling with getting stems right, getting stems to sound clean, because it takes so much power. So you're going to have like an M1 chip within a Den and DJ unit, which will make the price, I'm guessing, because you won't be able to use an M1 chip, because it's Apple owns. So there's all these moving factors to like how companies roll out to show that they're innovating whilst also serving the customers that are currently using their product. So it's a tricky one.
And there is this cloud with Serato and Rekordbox of this takeover. It's all public, and me and Blakey were speaking about it the other day, and it's like it's been pushed back again and again, and now I think it's October. Right. Just if you don't know, Alpha Theta are trying to acquire Serato, and they actually announced that they did that like last year, but it's still not happened yet, and it's in court, and it's in court, and it's pushed back again to October, and it feels like after watching a lot of crime documentaries, it's kind of like throwing a lot of money until one of them cracks, like kind of thing. So it's interesting, and it's like what I'm getting at is it worth Serato putting a load of money into something when somebody's going to buy this, and this is what I'm getting at. So we don't know any facts, but everything's public if you want to go and read about it, if you're so interested in it.
Yeah, I wonder if the effects update is something that they've had on the back burner for a long time.
Well, I know it is, because we got Blake in the office, and he said he saw this like 2 years ago.
So I wonder if it's been there, and they were like, well, we're not going to release anything because we might be getting acquired by Alpha Theta. And then they've thought, oh, well, this isn't happening, so we need to show we're actually doing something for our customers. So we've got this on the back burner. Let's put it out. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't go and spend millions on an update, and then you might have to pay it to lawyers. So yeah, it's a sticky one, as we say in the UK, a sticky one. Let's talk about music management a little bit more in depth. So obviously we have our music management course on our website. We launched that last year. Yeah, last year, wasn't it? So many of you have taken that, and it sells really well. But yeah, music management, again, it's one of them things that if you're just starting out at DJing, don't worry about that shit. Like, go and have fun, DJ.
Yeah.
But if you are a working DJ, it can become mundane, which is why we sort of tried to give it a more of a spin of like a creative spin on a creative outlet, and try to give you ideas on how to manage your music a little bit better.
Most DJs don't like organizing, right?
I don't. I hate it.
It's DJing is a creative outlet. Yeah. Organizing music isn't that creative, so it usually gets put to the bottom of the pile, right? Yeah. For a lot of people. I'm not saying that's for everyone. Danny is highly organized,
and I am not.
But I know a lot of DJs hate music management. So it is one of those things that how can we approach it in a way that is a bit more exciting?
I think so, yeah. And there is ways of like automating it, which is a big sort of thing in the music management course. Is like, how do we come at this in a creative way, but also make it as automated as possible? And there's loads of tricks like auto creates in Serato. We've been talking about Serato. It's a great feature, an underused feature.
Smart playlist,
sorry.
Intelligent playlist.
Yeah, intelligent playlist. So there's a few tips. So we've got intelligent playlists. There's organizing your hot queues. There's creating custom crates. There's using sort of cloud storage, because I have so much music that come in here. And there's a great feature on a place that I use called the Mashup, where you can actually download by crate as well, which I'll tell you about. So if we just go through them, the auto crates, the intelligent playlists. Talk to me about how that sort of works.
So do you know what this is? If you're going to do one thing, I'd say do this. Yeah. If you're going to do one thing with your music library in your DJ software. So DJ software, Serato, and Rekordbox have really good smart playlists, smart crates, which you set parameters. So you can say, if my song has this tag in the genre, or it contains this BPM range, or any parameter, the metadata that's attached to it, you can choose those, set out some rules, and then it'll just scan your whole library and put anything that fits within those rules automatically into a crate. But the beauty of this is when you add new music to your library, because it's all right managing a load of music, then you download 50 new tracks and they kind of just get slammed in there and you don't manage them. This will automate that process, so it will look through anything new that you add and start organizing it. So for me, I would be like, okay, what makes up this residency that I've got on a Wednesday night, Thursday night, your student night, for example? What's the kind of music that they enjoy, and what are the parameters that attach to that kind of music? Do I need the tags to be pop, or do I need it to be house or commercial house, what are the tags, and then you can just work on doing those tags, and everything else is automated. So you just go in that one playlist every week, and it's like anything new you've downloaded that fits in that criteria, boom, it's in that playlist ready for that gig. So that's kind of a really quick and easy way. Now, there is obviously still some management to it. So in Rekordbox, it's great because you can just tick boxes. Like as you load a track in, you can just tick a box saying, this is a warm-up track. It is instrumental. It is, house. You can choose whatever parameters you want. And then everything else is done behind the scenes. So yeah, I'd say definitely look into that. It's heavily covered in the music management course. Yep. And it kind of comes to a culmination of speeding up the whole process towards the end of the course using that.
Yeah. The next tip is organizing hot queues. But what I mean by this is, and I've realized this recently, it goes hand in hand, organizing hot queues and downloading too much music. So what I've started to do is, well, I've been doing it for a while, but I never liked organising hot queues. I'll kind of do it on the fly when I've downloaded. So I'll go and download loads of tracks, go to the club, and then sort of do it on the fly. But what I've realised is if I'm not willing to sort of organise hot queues when I download the track, I'm probably never going to play that track. So what I do is I purposefully download tracks that I know that I want to play, and then I'll go in and organise the hot queues because it gives me a bit more of an attachment to the track. I've listened through to it. I know where the bits are. So it really limits the amount I download because it takes me a little bit longer. So I'll go and download 10 tracks, hot queue them. If I don't hot queue them, I'll just like bin them and try and get rid of them. And I found it a really useful way to stop downloading every track I see and to really just like focus in on the tracks that I actually really want to play.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
This is the thing as well, as if you are a club DJ, there's a certain set that you want to perform to like play the right music, but then elevate that set to beyond just playing the latest hits, right? If you're a wedding DJ, you just need to make sure you've got the right music. The creativity comes secondary to that. Whereas, if you are a resident club DJ, you can get away with just downloading 10, 15 songs and going, how can I make these really pop tonight?
Yeah.
And how can I do something that's more than just a wedding, right? That's more than just, I'm just going to play this song and hope people like it. Like, how can I provide an experience as a DJ? And I think adding that into your workflow of going, I need to just add some hot cues in here. And I know that I can approach this track in a whole new way when it comes to tonight or tomorrow or whenever your gig is.
The next tip I'd say is definitely expand your music sources. I think if you're a working DJ, you get stuck and you're with a DJ pool for ages and you're going on a DJ pool, you know where you're going to look. You go to the trending section, you're like, okay, download, and it's like robotic. Whereas if you get outside of that and you're like, you can be a member of a DJ pool, right? And you go, right, I'm just going to cancel it for this month, go sign up to like a new one. Or I'm going to cancel it for this month and that $30, I'm going to go to Bandcamp and, try and find, 30 tracks that I can download for $1 each, or go on SoundCloud and find all the free downloads and the free edits and spend some time outside of it because, again, you kind of like, you will appreciate the music that you download a bit more and you'll have a bit more attachment to it. It's very easy to go into a playlist on a big DJ pool and just download the latest 10 tracks or their top 10 and you've got no like personality with it. Do you know what I mean? You're going out, you're going to play.
It's exactly that thing of when you sit down and you put Netflix on and you spend the length of a show trying to choose a show, right?
Yeah.
It's overwhelmed. We can literally just open our DJ software, access millions of songs with streaming, for example. Yeah. And it's like, well, which ones do I choose? Yeah. And then you're relying on other people to select those songs for you. And a big part of being a DJ is being the selector, is finding the gems, is finding the stuff that you want to experiment with, share, and be creative with. So definitely putting some restrictions on it by doing that, like going, right, I'm not going to rely on this service for this month, is a great tip. I think that's a really good one.
And I think that it forces you to like listen to more music because like you say, you can go and like, okay, what's trending? Okay, Kendrick, Drake, or, whatever you play, Fisher, and you're like, you don't even like listen because you're like, I know if I play this out, it's gonna go well. Yeah. And I used to download like a few songs and not even listen to them before I played them out. Whereas like you're going on SoundCloud, you're going on Bandcamp, you're like, oh, what's this? And you're surprised and you get excited. Then you're like, okay, let me go test this. And you get to the club and you're testing it. And like, is it working? You're more engaged with the crowd. You're like, is this going off? Okay, I've set the second drop. I know is totally different. Let's skip to the second drop. It gets you into more of a state, like a flow state with DJing, and a bit more of a selective with it as well.
That's a great tip.
With that as well, I think a lot of people, especially new DJs, will start to like, it's expensive finding music. I get that. It's like you have DJ pools, there's streaming services, there's Bandcamp, and the temptation to be like, okay, I've spent enough money this week, let's go on and download some rip files, let's go on YouTube, get a YouTube ripper, and it's just like I can tell some of the. I played at a festival last week, and I could tell. I walked into one of the sets, and I could just tell there was a switch in like the quality of music, and I was like, "That's ripped," because I knew the tune was like brand new because I heard it like that day or something, and I was like, "They've gone on YouTube to play this tonight," and I could just tell. Yeah. And I just like avoid it if you can.
The worst thing about that is you'd end up filling your library with low quality music files, and it's really hard to like find them again and manage your music. You're managing your music twice.
Yeah.
It might be a song that you then decide you play at every set because it's a big tune, and it's like, oh, I'm playing this bad version for years. Yeah. And you don't realize until you actually go look at like the quality of it, and you're like,
And the last tip as well, I'm sure everybody does it by now, but yeah, creating custom crates for like different events. So custom crates and playlists for like based on like energy, genre, moods. You like a mood, don't you?
I do, yeah.
You're like a mood, like
I
Jamie Hartley rollers.
Yeah.
Or a feeling.
Vibes
like
and
a
feelings.
feeling. Yeah.
But listen, so music is a feeling, it creates
Personal.
a feeling, it's personal, and there's stuff that the way you describe music, sometimes it's not as straight cut as like, this is where everyone gets caught up on, what genre is this? It's like, well, does it matter what genre it is? Like, there's a reason why I love Fred again's music, because you can't put it in a box.
Yes.
You know, and it's a feeling, it creates a feeling, and it's that kind of thing that helps me approach music and sets. It's like, well, what feeling does it give me? Does it make me want to be on a beach? Does it make me want to be in a dark, dingy club at 5 a.m.? You know, where that's what I want to get out of it. Not like, does this fit into this category? And therefore, this night is a house night, so I play from my house folder. You know,
and that's,
where are people at on
and
that
that's
night?
coming from like you looking at your library. Doesn't mean that if you want to appeal to a tech house audience, that you then don't go and make a mix and call it tech house on YouTube or Mixcloud because you're trying to get that fan base. It's like, what does it look like to you from your screen, from your playlist? And that's the important thing. It doesn't matter what you then portray and put out there. It's just like what it is to you. Speaking of music, you go get on them decks.
Cool.
We are going to play add to playlist, but as we've been talking about music management, like I say, guys, we do have a music management course. If you want to get creative, if you find it a bit mundane, a bit boring, we come at it from a creative standpoint. We also give you loads of tools, external apps that you can use. We try and sort of incorporate the AI with the sort of auto playlist, intelligent playlist, and show you how to do that. So you can go and check that out at wearecrossfader.co.uk, and you can get 20% off. Use the code OFFTHERECORD, and that goes for any of our DJ courses, whether it's genre-based courses, controller-based courses, or if you want to have a look at the complete package, that's all of our 25 plus courses, plus bonus content, and access to all future courses. Right, it's time for Jamie to get behind the decks. You've not been behind the decks for a while.
I've not, no.
He's in the building. So we're going to play you a few tracks. All of these track lists will be in our Discord after this goes live. And I'm going to vibe out. And it's really weird because it's 10 o'clock in the morning. And I assume Jamie's got some absolute vibes for me. So let's play Add to Playlist.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Right. This one's for you
in
particular.
This is for you.
Just to get started.
I've got this.
Have you got this? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you might.
No, let's play it. It's fucking sick.
Right.
Yes.
I'll skip in a tiny bit.
Oh, let's go.
What a set opener as well.
Oh, man. This is a set opener, isn't it? Like,
Absolutely.
I can imagine if he was still here, this would be a Virgil's opening track. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, I do play this regularly. I actually play this quite late on in my sets, but it's like the drop is so perfect for what the track is.
Yeah.
You don't need...
It just enhances it a little bit more, doesn't it? It brings it into a club environment.
I don't want it to be like speed garagey or like dubsteppy. I just want it to roll. Yeah.
So I'm guessing that's in the playlist.
It's in the playlist. It's a nice 3, which can go beginning of set, end of set. And yeah, I'm just putting that in my, like, again, to me, I know it's not deep house. I know it isn't. but for me, I know what that means to me. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly
It's
that, yeah.
like super chill, low energy, round a pool, early DJ set. Yeah. I think, wrong one. No. Oh,
By the
hello.
way, sorry,
Oh,
that
go on.
was, we
No.
didn't even mention, that was Father Stretch My Hands Part 1, Zach Knows bootleg,
yes.
available on SoundCloud. All right, again, we'll skip.
Ooh. This is a bit, ooh. Oh, I'm a sucker for a piano. Oh. Ooh. Is that a sample?
So keep listening.
Yeah.
I've gone for quite a variety this
No,
week.
that's good. Whoa! Whoa! That came out of nowhere, but
That's
it's
why I
that.
chose it, because I wanted to talk about this.
Yeah. Ooh.
I'll skip through.
Yeah. What?
Pianos come back.
Okay. You know. I'm gonna say like I'm gonna throw a vocal.
I thought it was interesting though, because it was like disco tune,
It was
bassline tune.
kind of like this disco, but then it was like that kind of like early 2000s house piano.
Yeah.
So I was like, because I thought, is that a sample from like, remember like Freemasons era? That kind of like,
Yeah.
used to call it funky house, not the UK funky house, but like it was like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So it's 135 BPM.
Is
It's called
it?
the Garage Disco Ball.
oh, but
Kinda
that
makes
is
sense.
exactly what it is.
By
It is.
Klay. Clay.
In fact, I would now make a garage disco ball folder.
Yes, exactly. That's a great title, isn't
And
it?
like, be
that
like-
hybrid.
yeah.
But it's much faster. The tricky thing with this is it's almost got that like warm up piano disco-y vibe. But to play that part of the song, 135 BPM, you're not playing it in that disco-y
Yeah.
set. So
No,
it
no, no.
kind of has to be played in the garagey set and just to switch the energy up at that time.
All of that track, right? To where I play tonight, that encompasses the night that I play at. It's like from that disco-y that vibe to that like bassy vibe, all the way in between. I like that. I'm gonna have that for tonight.
Right then, so let's keep it on the garagey vibe.
Okay, that is. Yeah. Ooh. This is like half. See, I call this like half step garage. It's like again, not a genre.
But again, an interesting one, because where would you play it? What kind of energy is it? And how would you incorporate it into an event? And
How I would play this is I have got about 3 different versions of this, the
Yeah.
vocal,
Yep.
and I would probably switch one into one. So if I wanted to go from, see, this is why you need to listen to your tracks,
Yeah.
because I didn't think that was going to get any heavier. That is nice.
So there's a lot of scope with something like this to,
There
like you
is.
say,
So-
use this vocal to your advantage, incorporate it with. There's so many versions of it out there.
Well, I've got a version that's like a bit more chill, a bit more on the deep house side. But again, going into later in the night, I would just swap out the chorus and then drop in this garage, bring up the tempo, and I'm in. Yeah.
So that one is "Don't Walk Away" by Albert Moon, UKG dub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Five energy.
Shall we keep? Let's keep it on this kind of. Let's see. Right.
I'm in.
Organs.
If you're from the UK, you love an organ sound. Okay, we're in the commercial clubs now. Oh.
I'll skip him.
Oh. I like that roller. I want to know if in the US is this a sound?
Yeah.
Is there clubs where they're playing this kind of music all the time? Because this is it feels like very UK to me.
Yep.
The organ sound and that bassy sound. But I'd like to know around the world if this is a well-known sort of genre.
Do you feel like this kind of song though it ticks a box in your playlist?
It does.
Sort of.
It does because of the vocal. if I'm struggling and it's full of girls, for example, wanting to sing.
It's like kind of going, oh, I know not many DJs will play this version. It might be like just, I think it's probably only got a few thousand or something. So you go, okay, this is unique to my set, but it's not going to do anything crazy for my set. It's just like it ticks a box. It pleases the crowd and it's a bit different.
Do you know what I do? Do you know the disco balls one you played earlier?
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm going to try this out without a vocal. If it fails, I'm going to play this next, where people can sing. I like it. I don't know if I play it if it's going in my playlist. Oh, it would be like a backup.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, cool. No, it's good.
Like a backup option.
Right. So that one was Rihanna Pour It Up. The
again, what we were talking about earlier.
I'd
download that. I'd be going in. I'd be setting cues, and I'd be like, you know what? Probably not going to play that, and I'd just get rid of it.
Right. Next one.
Oh, hello. There's a theme.
There is a theme. Yeah.
Bit of JT. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh.
Let's skip through.
Yeah. Oh.
So a bit more of a roller, this one, 129 BPM.
Yeah, this is...
So again, is this in the same box and category as the last one, the Rihanna one? It kind of ticks the box.
I don't think that, like... No, it's not. It's not, actually. Because this one isn't like... This track isn't like trying to like make you dance. It's like... It's like brunch. It's like brunch. It's like poolside singing. Try to make you sing this song. The one before was trying to make you sing and dance.
That's a really good way to put it.
I'm not trying to get people on the dance floor by playing this track.
Right, yeah.
I'm just like...
There's a time and a place for it that it will really work.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I'll skip through.
Oh, it did get a bit more energy though then. Ooh. See, I would skip straight to this bit.
Yeah.
Straight
so you'd
to
have a
this
hop
bit.
cue, which is how many minutes in? We're 3.5 minutes into the song here. It's like a 9-minute edit. Although actually it looks like there's a big silence at the end. Maybe
Is it? 9 minutes.
That's SoundCloud for you.
That's a toilet break.
Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of silence at the end of the phone.
Oh,
it kind of like grows on you, doesn't it? Yeah.
But then maybe I spoke too soon. Where it is like, all right, this is a good way to get people up there
on the dance floor.
They're sat down having a cocktail, and you're like, okay. I like that.
What do you think?
What a grower that was. Yeah.
So that one was Justin Timberlake, Senorita, Daniel James edit.
Oh.
Yeah. Very, it could be.
He's busy in Turkey.
Not actually Danny James, a different Daniel James.
That's so nice. It felt like it just went up in tempo, that one. Like I say, I would be playing it like, say I play it like a bar, sort of bar feel. I'd be like, okay, let's start getting people moving.
Yeah.
Get people singing first. And
transition.
By the end of it, it's like, oh, hello, we're up. I like that one, man.
All right, let's go. That. Last one.
One more. Ooh, again.
So yeah, very much a theme this week.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of SoundCloud, isn't it?
It is.
You get unlimited edits of old school tunes. 140 BPM.
Yeah, I'm getting UK vibes. That's a you could call this Leeds 1998 edit.
So it doesn't really do. It's actually like a 2-minute long song.
There's an audience that I know who will go nuts to that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't play that out, but depending where you are, I'd love to know in pockets of. I know in Europe there's loads of pockets, being like US. Australia, I know Australia's got a big garage scene, but like speed garage as a general, where is it like now as a across the world? I'd love to know if you play speed garage in your country, wherever you're from. Love to know.
It's one of those tracks that it fits into that set where you're playing 32 bars at most of each individual track, and that's probably why the producers only made it 2 minutes long, because they know I'm just going to like play the sample, play the drop, next track, and it just kind of you keep the energy going with it, and it's just part of a much more extended. So I tried to choose things this week that didn't have these obvious big drops. They're not like that's a banger. It's more like, how would these fit into a set.
Yeah. 100%. I think, I can see this at like some big DJs, like, you know, like a Chris Lorenzo set where it's a lot bassier, something like that. But I love that vocal.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know
so
what I mean?
It's that thing, just choosing that vocal makes that track, makes you kind of want to play it.
Yeah.
And it allows it to fit into more sets.
Yeah.
That was Ooh La La Maud's remix.
I'll play it. Right, come sit down and let's actually. Where I would want to hear that song is where we're going on Saturday.
Yeah,
we are going to Parklife. The whole team is going, apart from Danny, who is away, and excitement. That is. If I heard all them tracks at Parklife, I'd be happy.
That's it.
But I was going to say, so on the line we're going to it's like Giotti, Peggy Goo, Disclosure.
Yep.
Sammy Vergi.
Yeah.
Who else is on?
Sugar Babes.
Sugar Babes are on. We've got a call to make where we're going to have to see Sugar Babes or Peggy Goo. We saw Peggy Goo last year though, right? So maybe not. But we are getting there. Sammy Vergi is like one of our favourite DJs in the office. If you
Again, it's kind of that kind of vibe, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about
garagey.
to say if I heard that at Sammy Vergi set, I'd be buzzing. It's quite garage, UKG. Bassline 4/4 we call it in the UK. But if you are interested in that kind of music and you're not really aware of that kind of music, Sammy Vergi is your guy for that. Interplanetary Criminals as well are there. Disclosure, is it Disclosure Live? Do we know?
I think it's Disclosure. I'm just getting the
It's
lineup now.
Disclosure Live.
If I went on the stages,
I'm excited to see Giotti, who is sort of a friend of the podcast. We spoke to before. She's a brilliant DJ, and again, somebody who you can't fit in a box of music. And you want to
kind of party DJ, but credible.
Oh,
Would you say that?
super, yeah. Friends with Skrillex and Fred again, and I'm looking forward to that because you don't know what you're going to get. This is the thing, right? If I go, I'm looking forward to Disclosure, right? But I kind of know what they're going to play, yeah. But like a Giotti DJ set, I'm like, could be anywhere.
There's something I want to highlight here. Fish 56 Octagons playing, right?
Right. I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that is,
No.
right? Carl Cox knows who it is.
Jesus.
Gorgon City knows who it is.
All right.
Right. He's a guy on Instagram.
Is he the Instagram guy?
The Instagram guy. He has like a main set in the Jägermeister area, right? And this just shows. So he's blown up. He's like his own influencer. You know, a guy who's been DJing since back in the day.
He's a veteran.
Got a huge record collection, and he just uploaded videos. If you haven't seen him, go find.
He's dancing in his robe and stuff like that.
He's just dancing in his robe in the morning, playing his records and just introducing them, and it's just like. He's just got this like mince about him.
This is the thing with content. People do get in their own heads about. I need a $5,000 camera.
I guarantee it will be packed. He'll be more busy than some of the main DJs that are going because he's on the Jägermeister one.
Fair play. Is Dan Hills on that as well? Go early on first one. Yeah, keep going. Oh my God, the Jägermeister. Is this no, it's just a whole day. Sorry, right. I thought you were on stages.
So I'm really excited to dip in and out of the drum and bass tent as well. Boo.
Oh yeah.
On live.
Yeah.
And then there's people like Ariel Free, who's blowing up at the moment. Near Archives.
I'd
quite like to see some Near Archives.
Yeah, breaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have some. Well, it should be a good podcast last week.
Fortet's an interesting one because I love Fortet as an artist, but it's always like at a festival. It can be a bit more experimental.
Is it going to be the vibe?
Sometimes you're like, I just want a really good vibe. Yeah. So it depends where you're at, how drunk you are, where you're at mentally. Of like, what do I want to get out? Do I want to be in a drum and bass rave? This is a great thing about festivals, though.
Yeah.
You know, at this moment in time, what kind of vibe am I feeling?
Because last year the vibe was 33 degrees, and we literally could not stand outside for that long, so we ended up in the disco arena because it had a roof.
Exactly that.
And we also spent like 7 hours in the VIP last year and missed half the acts. So we'll have stories for you next week. We'll see. I'm excited. If you are one of the VIP DJs, we will probably be in your DJ booth saying, "Play this track."
Be the awful requesters for once.
Yeah. So if you see us, give us a thumbs up. And if we are at Parklife, if you're listening to this, we'll see you there. Yeah, say hello to us.
Most of the team's going to be there. So
we did see a lot of people last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing. If you are at Parklife this weekend, have a good time, and we will see you there. And if you're not, which you're probably not, we will see you here next week. Take care. See you next week.
Peace out.